Hi, everybody. I'm Adriana Hopkins with ABC 7 News, coming to you from Prince George's County for PGC MLS this week. And there is so much happening this week. Feast your eyes on Mama Dip's delicious molasses cookies and Edna Lewis's mouth-watering Southern biscuits during this special cooking demo Tuesday at 7 p.m. Along the way, we will learn all about these two foundational culinary figureheads. Explore the career of Margaret Sullivan, architect and national thought leader in public library vision conceptualization and planning, at this week's Career Chat, Wednesday at 3 p.m. This Thursday at 7 p.m., award-winning author and Mississippi native W. Ralph Eubanks gives us a literary tour of the evocative landscapes that have inspired writers in every era, from Faulkner to Wright, Welty to Trethewey, in his book, A Place Like Mississippi. Hey kids, who says math is just about numbers? You'll find out otherwise during the STEM at Home Fun with Symmetry event on Friday at noon. Enjoy some fun paper crafts and learn about geometry and symmetry. Self-care starts at home. Join PGC MLS for an easy guided meditation designed to be calming, stress-reducing, and promote personal connection. Start feeling rejuvenated this Friday at 4 p.m. It is tax season. Contact PGC MLS Ask a Librarian service at 240-455-5451 Tuesday through Friday from 1 to 6 p.m. and Saturday from 1 to 5 p.m. to learn more about curbside availability of physical tax documents. These include federal tax forms and booklets in both English and Spanish, as well as the Maryland State Tax Booklet. Thanks for watching PGC MLS this week. For more information on the free resources available to you, head to pgcmls.info.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Community Conversation. Back with CEO Roberta Phillips today, who has been allowing a bunch of us to guest host for a few weeks while she's been working on some other projects. So we're super excited to have her back with you all this afternoon. Before I introduce our special guest, just want to give Roberta a shout out. She is, as of today, officially a 2021 Women in Government Award recipient from the county. Very exciting. Congratulations, Roberta. She's up there with some really awesome leaders in the county. And the most important thing about it is that Roberta represents all of us in the library community when she is recognized like that. So huge kudos to everyone who has been a part of keeping PGCMLS connected with everyone in the county and also around the world, while we've become quite trailblazers in this whole process of getting through a strange time in our history. So without further ado, we're going to introduce Sarah, who is a wonderful colleague. She works with the Together program, which is based at the University of Maryland. Sarah has had several roles at the Together program, including sites director and case manager, program coordinator. She's also an alum of University of Maryland College Park. She graduated in 2016 with a bachelor's degree in family science from the School of Public Health. So she, at least for college, was in Prince George's County and continues to serve our community now through the Together program. This is going to be a really fascinating conversation. There's some great resources and opportunities for all of you to get some support services, knowledge, education, and some cool incentives sometimes as well. So I'll turn it over to Roberta and Sarah and hope you enjoy the program.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. And thank you for being here, Sarah. I just want to say, every honor a leader gets is a reflection of their team. So I'm very blessed and very fortunate to lead a spectacular staff. So thank you for that. So Together program, tell me about the background and what led you to this opportunity.
Yeah, so what actually led me to this opportunity, it was directly through the University of Maryland College Park. I was an undergraduate, as Nick explained, in family science, and I saw this Together project, it was called back then. It was just starting out, advertised through my guidance counselor as a potential internship. So I took it on as an unpaid internship, and I really just fell in love with the program's mission to build strong families in Prince George's County in Maryland. And I would help, with what interns would help with, office organization. From then on, I was able to complete training, shadow case managers, and finally interact with the couples that we served. And that's what really kept me in the program. I was a case manager for a while to directing our multiple sites where we host workshops. We've hosted workshops directly at University of Maryland. We've hosted them at Prince George's Community College, as well as a bunch of faith-based partnerships. So we've been involved with Kettering Baptist Church, St. Matthew's in Hyattsville, and Judah Temple in Bowie. And here I am today as a program manager.
Awesome. And it's always exciting for me that we can keep the talent that we grow right in the county. So we're lucky to have you stay here. And I'm always a big fan of internships because you never know where they're going to lead you. So tell us, what is the Together program and who do you primarily serve?
Okay, so Together is a free program for couples, and it's a resource for the community to help couples improve their communication together, their problem-solving skills, their financial management skills, basically improve their financial well-being and their financial literacy and capability. We are also federally funded. So we recently received our second 5-year grant from, it's the Office of Family Assistance, Administration for Children and Families, and the Department of Health and Human Services. The last 5 years, from 2015 to 2020, was our first round. We were developing our program, and it was awarded to Virginia Tech, closely partnered with University of Maryland. In the last 5 years, we enrolled over 800 couples. 180 of those couples were actually online from last April to last September during the pandemic. So it is possible to continue this program online, as many other things, such as these community conversations. This time around, the grant was awarded to University of Maryland. We found that we truly want to focus on targeting just Maryland, Prince George's County, as well as Montgomery County. While our workshops are online, we did get the go-ahead to extend our services to the DMV area, so DC residents as well, and Northern Virginia, so Fairfax and Arlington counties. We have a couple of eligibility criteria. We serve adult couples, so couples have to be 18 years or older.
Okay.
We ask that couples read, write, speak, and understand either English or Spanish. So we're very excited to finally offer workshops in Spanish for the next 5 years. That's something that we weren't able to do in the last 5 years. But fun fact, our program creator, Dr. Mariana Falconier, is from Argentina. So she piloted a program, a sister program of Together called Juntos en Pareja for the last about 1.5 years. And now we're able to fully integrate it into this grant. So we serve adult couples, English or Spanish speaking. Couples do not have to be married. They don't even have to be living together. We just recommend that couples are in a committed relationship, because we will delve into topics about sharing finances and all that good stuff. So we want to make sure that our couples are prepared.
Yes. So, there's so many facets of being partnered. And how does relationship and financial education help couples and their families advance in just wellness?
Great. That's a really good question. So our workshops start off addressing couple skills. We do activities, and we also give home practice for couples to go home and practice on their own time. So some of these activities include speaker-listener guidelines, I statements instead of you do this, I feel this way, progressive muscle relaxation activities, increasing internal awareness. So we really focus on those couple skills first in our workshop. And we find that a lot of our couples are very eager to get to the finances, which is good. You know, they're eager and willing to learn, but we've got to set up the stage with those couple skills. And then in the later half of our workshops, we introduce financial management skills and tools. And couples are able to practice their couple skills in those financial situations. So
Sure.
what are couples' dreams and goals? Everybody has differences, you know, but it's just about being able to talk together and work through those dreams and goals. And everybody has different spending habits. We incorporate a card game called Money Habitudes. So it's habits plus attitudes. And I think it's really fun. I actually took it and I learned a lot about myself, and as a couple doing it, they learn a lot about each other. So how they budget, how they tend to spend, can they create a plan together, and how can they support each other in times of stress, especially in COVID-19, like coping with debt or focusing on improving credit. One of our main goals as a program is to focus on that economic mobility and stability. So our partnerships also help us do that. But and it still stands true that couples' main reason for getting in an argument is surrounded in finances. So how can we, you know, one, prevent that, or how can we work together to support that?
Yeah, that's a great program. I wish I would have had that when I was young. Now we're set in our ways as couples, but that's a very great approach. I think probably you might have had an uptick in this program based on on what's happening in unemployment and everything else. Is that true?
Yes, we saw our need for employment resources rise starting last April, and the reason people were joining, it might have been because, you know, they needed that extra support. I think being online, the silver lining of it, it actually removes some barriers too. Couples no longer had to travel to our workshops.
Sure.
They could set their kids up with activities while they're on the workshop. They didn't necessarily need a child to pay for a child care provider. Yes, we've definitely seen an interest. I think our three most popular requests for resources are employment. So we do partner very closely with Employer Prince George's, and internally we actually have a employment case manager. So each couple is assigned, if they express a need in employment, the employment case manager. We do what's called a comprehensive job and career needs assessment. We go through each and every area that couples might want support in, whether it be job education and training, job searching, resume building, and then we kind of do a warm handoff to the experts, Employer Prince George's, and that's where they're able to build an individual development career plan.
Well, shameless plug, we need to partner with you as well, because we also partner with Employer Prince George, and we have a phenomenal workforce development team who does career chats and resume building and support for small businesses, entrepreneurs, veterans, and we have a wealth of databases. So I'm seeing some synergies. I'll have to talk to you, Sarah, a little more offline about how we can connect some of these folks to the library resources as well. What are some of the challenges that you're seeing as themes for many couples during the past year? Obviously, unemployment being one of them.
Yes, definitely unemployment. We find that stress has risen. So we had already incorporated stress management into our curriculum, but this being a brand new grant cycle, we've had the opportunity to incorporate examples surrounding COVID-19. So, you know, couples are often home all day together. How do they manage that? How do they still find time for self-care? And we plan to address that in our curriculum and some other challenges. I mean, of course, there's a silver lining with online workshops, but then do couples have reliable internet access, equipment, laptops? And then also for parents, how do they manage working, having their children in school at the same time online? And we've created tip sheets with an array of resources of virtual activities that kids can participate in. And our case managers, one of their main jobs is to constantly assess these barriers and brainstorm with the couple on how we can help to remove them.
Awesome. Yeah. And I noticed a lot of places are starting financial literacy with kids. Really learning to manage money and think about how you spend and how you save and working towards a goal. I think, for a lot of folks, it seems like they never learn those skills. And then when they get to be an adult and they really are faced with the enormity of being an adult, and especially in a couple, you're like, there's some things I didn't know, or there's some barriers I wasn't aware of. So I think, that economic piece is really critical.
It is. So our grant, it's an overlapping title of Healthy Marriage and Responsible Fatherhood. And then there's 3 subsections. So we are technically frameworks. It's an acronym. Family, relationship, and marriage education. So we target couples. But there's also Fatherhood FIRE. FIRE is an acronym that is not coming to mind right now, but the third one is Ready for Life. And so we are part of the only federal money that gives back into the family unit. And so I really like the idea of the Ready for Life. We are working side by side other grantees who are targeting high school students and so forth. And yes, Fatherhood FIRE would be family focused, interconnected, resilient, and essential. So we're kind of all working together to address the entire family unit, because I truly believe that on a smaller scale, family impacts the larger scale of our society.
Absolutely. And we know parents are their children's first teacher, right? So that's always critical as well. How can Prince Georgians participate in the Together program?
That's a great question. So we have a website. It is togetherprogram.org. I will go ahead and walk you through.
Great.
So if couples would like to navigate to togetherprogram.org, there are a few options. They can definitely learn more about our program on here. They can check out a previous segment of some of our facilitators. So we have workshop facilitators, couples experts, and finance experts, usually licensed marriage and family therapist and accredited financial counselors. 2 of those were on Good Morning Washington a couple years back. They'll see what is Together, what are workshops, and how can you participate. So if couples would like to learn more after scrolling through our website, they can call our 1-877 number. That's 1-877-432-1669. And actually, a trained undergraduate University of Maryland intern are always lining those phone lines, and they're happy to give an entire program description and answer any questions that a person may have. Maybe they're not ready to fully commit to registering for a workshop. They would like to learn more.
Wow, stop there. Those are phenomenal. Oh my gosh, success rates. I love that. 99.3% of Together couples report that the program helped. Wow, that's a great testimonial.
Yeah, we're pretty proud of that, and we have to give credit to some of the surveys that couples will take for the reason that we have this data. The reason we know this, the reason we know our program works is because there's very short surveys from our funding agency, and couples take an entrance survey before they participate in our 6-week workshop series, and then an exit survey directly after that. And the funding agency directly compares those results, not on an individual basis. Couples' names and identity will always be fully protected, but rather an overall, overarching way of looking at it. Is our program meeting its enrollment targets, and are we actually helping couples who enroll? So, and then you'll see 2 of our main goals next to that 96 to 97% of couples say that the program helped them handle conflict better with their partner, and or to manage bills better with their partner. So, there's more to scroll through on this website. There are already resources for couples if they need them before getting to our workshops. So they can call if they want more information. They can also email. It's info@togetherprogram.org. Or if they're ready, they can click sign up here. And you'll see there's an English and a Spanish tab. So I'm just going to go through English as I am English speaking. And it'll take you directly to our Eventbrite page. And this is how you can reserve a seat for a workshop. So you'll scroll down, you'll see our first workshop. We actually just received Institutional Review Board approval from University of Maryland yesterday. So this event is perfect timing. We were able to go live on Eventbrite today. You can click the day and time that works for you. So we have Saturday morning workshops, and there'll be more to come. They're always rolling. So if this one doesn't work for you, check back next month. We have 5 years. These Saturday ones are 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So they are 2.5 hours, 6 times, just once a week for 6 weeks. The evening ones are 6 to 8:30 p.m. We are hoping that these times work for couples who have jobs. It gives them time after work to decompress and get ready to hop on a very fun Together Program workshop. So I'll just click on this one as an example. And it's just confirming that it is free, and couples will then be able to view a little bit about the workshop. We are a safe place for couples wanting to work together to build long-lasting changes in their families. And all workshops are online until at least October. We're going to follow the guidelines for University of Maryland to protect the health and safety of both our participants and our staff. After fall 2021, we're going to reassess and hopefully be able to start workshops in person again. But for now, just so everybody knows, it's online.
And so how many participants, is there a cap on the workshops? Because I would assume you'd probably want to be able to have that small group in order to have that progress.
That's a great question. Our goal is to have 4 to 10 couples in a workshop. And we find that, 8 is kind of the sweet spot. We're usually able to reach that average. Also, couples are joining on one video screen together on Zoom video conferencing. So it's not 20 different people showing. It's a maximum of 10. And we've never really had a wait list, knock on wood.
But you might after today.
We might, thanks to Prince George's County Memorial Library System. Yeah. That would be wonderful. We have had opportunities, especially coming to the end of the last grant. We had 25 couples sign up for our very last workshop. So we were able to enroll all of them and then split our workshop into 2. So it became like 12 and 13, and that was much more manageable. So couples would click register always for 2 because it is required to participate as a couple. And it just asks for general information, first name, last name, address, date of birth. We like to know how couples hear about us. We want to know if our recruitment methods are working. And so I can definitely mention that as I mentioned, couples have to be 18 years or older, able to read, write, speak, and understand either English or Spanish. But we also do a pre-screening for domestic violence. The goal of our program is to resolve conflict. We would never want to further escalate it. So we find that if couples have either severe, untreated domestic violence or mental health diagnoses, again, severe and untreated, we are more than happy to refer out to a resource that can better fit their more immediate needs. So that's what this part is about. We partner very closely with Community Advocates for Family and Youth, CAFE, in Prince George's County. So we would, again, give a warm handoff, similar to employment services, for anybody who needed these services. And if all is able to be checked, then a case manager who is assigned to the couple will call them within 24 hours. And
Great.
Yep.
So you're in a workshop, but you also have a case manager.
Yes. So
my gosh. Phenomenal.
Thank you. We really aim to have a holistic approach. So as I mentioned, the workshops are group setting. There are 2 facilitators. They're very highly experienced, and they do a great job facilitating our curriculum. Meanwhile, each couple has their own case manager. So when you sign up, you can expect to hear from your case manager very soon. And the case manager will send the couple a consent form outlining all of our program. They're basically the main point of contact throughout our entire workshop series as well. Any questions that a couple may have, they're welcome to email, call, or even text our case manager. They will have work cell phones provided to them. And they'll walk them through how to download Zoom, how to access the Zoom link. And they've actually turned into a little bit of IT support in our workshop.
I bet. Yeah. Well, it seems like the workshops, are geared towards getting that education and kind of a very specific curriculum, but then you have the case manager to handle the privacy and the private parts of your individual needs. So it's just sounds like such a win-win program.
Exactly. We want to help make couples as comfortable as possible.
Sure.
And in addition to the entrance and exit survey that I mentioned earlier through our funding agency, we have an internal, it's called a needs assessment survey. So our goal is to support couples in each and every way possible. Maybe our program doesn't directly address tax prep, but we would be happy to send them to the Financial Empowerment Center at Prince George's Community College.
We love the Financial Empowerment Center.
So do we. For free tax prep or one-on-one financial coaching, that they go a step further than we go. We provide those skills and tools that will hopefully last a lifetime. But if they need, some more individualized attention, FEC is perfect for that. Similarly, we see couples really being encouraged to continue their skills and tools through therapy. They become very interested in couples therapy, especially because being at University of Maryland in the School of Public Health, right downstairs is the Center for Healthy Families.
Oh, great.
So they provide sliding fee scale sessions for couples. Therapy won't be free. All of our other resources are always free, but it can be as little as $20 a session,
And these workshops are free too, correct?
Yes, all of our workshops are free. And I did want to mention that not only are they free, we provide gift card incentives.
Oh, wow.
So those gift cards are tied to the short surveys that I mentioned, as well as workshop participation. We want to see couples continuing to come back. So it is up to $160 per couple for our funding agency surveys and workshop participation. There are additional opportunities for additional surveys. They're University of Maryland surveys that our project directors created for up to $100 per couple. So a total of a possible $260 per couple. Yeah.
And you get the education in the workshop. And I'm imagining, of course, this is just me, I'm imagining some of the couples really become friendly with each other after 6 weeks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think that's one of the most fulfilling parts that I've witnessed, especially when I was a case manager. We've had couples pre-pandemic, they had Super Bowl parties. They got together for lunch and dinner outside of the program. And we are aiming to have the same effect online. Couples can still exchange phone numbers if they wish. And we have a Facebook community for all previous participants. And yeah, I think that's definitely one of the hidden benefits of the program.
Yeah, it's building, play on words, community conversation, but it's building a community, right? It's building that support network for each other. Do you find that you get like every age and every, there's no like target that normally participates?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So I will say, based on our data, again, we've seen majority of couples be ages 25 to 44, which makes sense. Personally, I've seen couples thinking about getting married or preparing for their wedding, and finances play into that.
Sure.
Or maybe they're thinking about moving in together or buying a house. And of course, finances play into that. We also partner with an array of housing organizations, such as HIP, Housing Initiative Partnership. They're in Hyattsville. We have Center for Assistance to Families, CAF, and also HOPE, Housing Opportunities and Planning Enterprises. So we are very well equipped to give a warm handoff for like home buyer education, etc. But back to the ages, we've seen all the way up to, 65 plus, and our youngest was probably 21. So while the majority are 25 to 44, I've seen people come from all walks of life. I've seen people, like I just described, think about marriage or moving into a house. I've also seen people who have been married for a very long time. And we received feedback. I think this is one of my favorite quotes from the program is, I got to know my partner all over again.
Aw.
It's touching, right?
Yeah, that's great.
So I think a common, maybe misconception or another word, is that you have to be struggling in a sense to join this program. And that's not it at all, I don't think. Of course, we have couples who, might be having a hard time, whether it be because of the pandemic, furlough, etc. But we also have couples who I've told that this can be a great time to carve out time for your relationship and spend quality time together. It can be a very structured time that you've dedicated yourself to, and maybe you'll learn something about your partner, or maybe you'll learn something from a fellow participant, or maybe you could provide some wisdom of your own in the workshops. So there's many different reasons why couples join.
So the topics you talked about were communication, of course, the finance piece, family health, dealing with stress. Am I leaving anything out?
No, I think that's the gist of it. Problem solving is
That's a good
word that we put in there, but Yeah, I mean, our curriculum is 230 pages, so there's plenty of details to jump into, and the developers of our curriculum are actually from University of Maryland as well.
Oh, awesome.
Yep. Dr. Mariana Falconier has a PhD from University of Maryland, and she's also a licensed therapist in Virginia and Maryland. Currently, the director of the Center for Healthy Families, the Couple and Family Therapy Program at Maryland. And then Dr. Jinhee Kim is more on the finance side of things. And she has a PhD in family resource management. And she's currently an associate professor and an extension specialist at University of Maryland Extension. So,
True. So is there a lot of hands-on participation, like exercises? You mentioned a card game for finances. Just, wondering how, like, I would imagine there'd be a lot of conversation, obviously, but just a lot of like activities to do and that sort of thing.
Yes, we definitely took the feedback that we received in the last 5 years. Couples wanted more time for group discussion and they wanted to get to know each other better. So while we do have a lot of information on our PowerPoint slides, we do incorporate very interactive activities, as well as additional handouts that couples can take a look at home. And then we also have home practice activities. So the couples will take those and, whatever they didn't get to in the workshop, we highly recommend that they spend time on their own at home as well.
Yeah, sounds great. I'm going to see if there's any questions from our audience at this time for Sarah or the program. Miss Vivian says, do you get positive result from your couples?
Yes. 99% of the couples who chose to complete our surveys, it's about 600 of the 800, say that the program helped a lot or some. It's about 65% say it helped a lot, whatever the math is, 30 something, some, but only 0.7% said no. So we do receive pretty positive feedback. We also rate our facilitators. We have our couples do session evaluation questionnaires. They rate our facilitators on enthusiasm, friendliness, cultural sensitivity, many other things, knowledgeability, and our facilitators receive between a 9.3, 9.4 out of 10 for the last 5 years. So,
that's awesome. Yeah, that's some good statistics. Can't argue with those. How is the program adapted to be inclusive for same-sex, LGBTQ+, or non-traditional couples, civil unions, etc.?
Of course, we welcome all couples. We accept any couple from any race, any religion, any sexual orientation, and we hope to create a safe space and one that is comfortable for anyone.
Great. Let me just scroll real quick, see if there's any other comments. Are there some books or shows you recommend?
Books or shows?
That's interesting. For couples.
For couples.
Probably not Temptation Island.
Temptation Island. You know
Probably
what?
not that one.
I think my favorite book when I was studying family science was the 5 Love Languages.
Yeah.
So I go to it every time. It's by Gary Chapman. And I think normally individuals know their own love language. They know what they like, whether it be receiving gifts or physical touch or quality time. But this book opened my eyes to the importance of knowing your partner's love language. And even though that might not be your natural way of communicating, it's important to make an effort to support your partner in the ways that they are looking for.
And clearly you can borrow it at the library.
Yes. Yes. Great.
Absolutely.
Our program creators has written a few books, Dr. Mariana Falconer. So I will have to get back on the names there. But I believe one is helping couples cope with stress. So pretty in on par with what our program offers.
Great. Well, we know also that Mental Health Month is coming up in May. That's, if I'm correct, that's also something that, might spark people to say, might be a good time for me to do this in May, and really participate in this Together program, because, we've all kind of wore out our welcome a little bit with our partners being confined in one space, right? I know my husband's like, I really love you, but I'm going for a walk. So, it's a different time, and people are facing different barriers or different stressors than they might have before. So it's really fabulous, Sarah, that you and your colleagues at Together program are providing such a comprehensive program for free with incentives where you get to meet other couples. So I'm like, I'm thinking about signing up here. I mean, this is phenomenal. And
sign up if I didn't work for it.
It's such a great service to community members and, strong families. The library's also very dedicated to having strong families and for families to read together and be together and have conversations. So if there's not any more questions, or if you don't have any closing remarks, I just wanted to thank you again for your time. This is really informational and such good stuff.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you brought up Mental Health Awareness Month. We do have an Instagram that's pretty active. It's at together_program. So if you're not ready to sign up, I definitely encourage all couples or even individuals to follow us there. We do a mental health tip every Monday. We do a couples tip every Tuesday. We do a financial tip every Friday. And I didn't mention this, but kind of some of the indirect results of our program include improving overall well-being and decreasing things like anxiety and depression. I think, it has this kind of snowball effect. People feel more of a positive attitude toward financial management and, overall positive dyadic stress management as well. So
great. Awesome. And I'm going to ask our producer here if he needs me to say anything else, but if not, I just wanted to thank you all for joining us today on the Community Conversation. I'm Roberta Phillips. It's my pleasure to host you, and thank you again to Sarah Fritz for the great information on Together program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you all. Have a great afternoon.